Hello, welcome to my channel and this week's yoga class. Today we're going to do a slower paced Hatha flow just to help get the body stretched but keeping you active and the muscles switched on. So we're going to start by coming to the end of the mat. We'll take a deep breath in, we're going to reach up nice and tall and stretch. And as we breathe out, we're going to fold into a forward fold. Really, again, trying to stretch down to those toes. We'll take a few deep breaths here in a ragdoll position. So you're going to take hold of the elbows, allowing the head to fall. You can stay here, or you can swing it slightly side to side. Whatever feels good for you. One more deep breath. Release the hands down to the mat. Big breath in, come all the way back up, stretching tall. And as you breathe out, hands to prayer and to heart center. We're going to go into a twisting stretch. So as you breathe in, we're going to twist to the right and open the arms up, really trying to twist as far as you can. You can even turn to look over that back thumb. Again, nice deep breath here. On your next out breath, you can bring the hands back to prayer and turning back. Good. Breathe in, we'll go the other way. Turning to the left, opening up the hands. You can look over that back thumb. Breathing deeply. Really trying to twist, stretch. On your next out breath, hands back to prayer. Turning back to the front. We're going to drop the hands by the sides, activate the thighs, the glutes, pulling the belly button in. 2 deep breaths in a Tadasana. Good. We're going to take a warrior one next. So as you breathe in, we're going to step that right foot back. So you don't want to step too far back, about a step and a bit. Foot at a 40-degree angle, bending that front leg, keeping the back leg nice and straight. Breathe in, bring the arms up. Keeping the shoulders nice and pulled down. And squeezing those shoulder blades together. We'll take 2 deep breaths here. Next out breath, we're going to bring the hands down. We're going to link the fingers together behind the back. We're going to push the shoulders and arms away. Taking a deep breath here in that shoulder stretch and chest stretch. On your next exhale, you're going to lean it forwards for a humble warrior. Take 2 deep breaths here. Good. Next in breath, stand it tall. As you breathe out, release the hands, straighten that front leg, and we're going to go into a pyramid pose. So bringing the hands to the hips, pivoting at the hips. You should feel a stretch down the back of the leg. If you want to at this point, you can take a couple of blocks, bring them to either side of the mat, and just come down to those. Because you really want to keep the back as flat as possible in pyramid. If you can come all the way down to the floor, stay there. But just remember, as you breathe in, try and elongate the back, open the chest. As you breathe out, try and drop into it a bit more. We're actually going to take 5 deep breaths here. See if we can get a really good stretch on the back of that leg and hamstring. So as I said, breathe in, lift slightly, elongate the spine. As you breathe out, just allow yourself to hinge a little bit more at the hips, so you're not folding forwards, you're staying nice and straight. One more deep breath. Good. Allow yourself to fold a little bit now as you breathe out. And as you breathe in, lifting all the way back up. Step it forwards. We'll come back to our Tadasana. Activating thighs, squeezing the glutes, pulling the belly button in. 2 deep breaths. Now, as you can see, I've left my blocks ready because we're going to do the same on the other side in a moment. Good. So next in breath, we step into our warrior 1 first. So we're stepping a step and a bit away, foot at a 40-degree angle, bending that front leg. Good. Breathing out. As you breathe in, arms come up by the ears, keeping those shoulders down, pulling those shoulder blades together, keeping that active. 2 deep breaths. Next out breath, we're going to bring the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. As we breathe in, we're going to pull the arms away, squeezing the shoulder blades together, opening the chest. Take a deep breath in here, and then as you exhale, hinge at the hips, leaning it forwards, humble warrior. Take 2 deep breaths here. Next in breath, standing it back up. As you breathe out, releasing the hands and straightening that front leg. We're going to take it into our pyramid pose now. So keep that front leg straight, hands on hips. We're going to really hinge at the hips, keeping that back nice and straight, coming down. Again, if you want to, you can come to the blocks or all the way to the floor, whatever feels comfortable for you. So we're going to take 5 deep breaths in this position. We're going to work on trying to increase this stretch. So in this position, as you breathe in, you can elongate the spine, lift the chest. And as you breathe out, you're going to continue to hinge at the hip. So we're not folding forwards, it's a hinge at the hip. Breathe in, elongate the spine, lift the chest. Exhale and hinge at the hip. Keep it going. Good. On your next out breath, you're just going to allow the body to fold forwards, just relaxing. As you breathe in, you're going to bring it back up to standing. Breathe out, step it forwards, back to our Tadasana. So as you breathe in, arms by the sides, squeeze the thighs, squeeze the glutes, pulling the belly button in, chest high. 2 deep breaths. Good. So I'm just going to move my blocks out of my way. We're going to do a short, slow vinyasa to come down onto the floor. So as you breathe in, take the arms to the ceiling. As you breathe out, coming down to the toes. Good. Breathe in, half lift, flat back. As you breathe out, bring the hands to the mat and gently step it back for a plank. Breathe in here. As you breathe out, we're going to bring the knees down, chin, chest, breathe in for a cobra, whatever height feels good for you. As you breathe out, tuck the toes under, push the hips up and back, and we're going to take a down dog for 3 deep breaths. Good. So at this point, we can pedal the feet to continue stretching out the back of the legs if that feels good. Or you can stay in stillness, looking towards the feet. Heels don't have to be down. You can keep the knees bent if that's more comfortable. Last deep breath. From here, we're going to come straight down into a child's pose. You can take the feet, you can take the knees wide on the mat or narrow, keeping the feet together and and just dropping down to the mat, keeping it relaxed. We're actually going to take 5 deep breaths here just to recenter ourselves. So if you wanted to unlock the hips a little bit here, you could sway gently side to side, but you don't have to. You could just stay in a resting position. Last deep breath. And then we're just going to walk ourselves up to a kneeling position. In this kneeling position, we're going to do a little bit of stretching of the legs. So we're going to start by stretching the tops of the feet. So keeping knees together, feet together, but trying to make sure that the feet stay nicely aligned and they're not too rolled in or out. We're going to lean our weight backwards, bring the hands to the mat, and just trying to raise the knees. You can go as far back as you like, or you can stay more upright. It's just whatever feels comfortable. I'm going to take 2 more deep breaths here. And roll it forwards. For our next one, we're going to take the feet wide. Now, if this is at all uncomfortable on the thighs, so on the tops of the legs, you can bring a block underneath you at any height or angle, just to make it a bit more comfortable. But taking the feet nice and wide outside the bottom, keeping the knees together, and again we're going to take it backwards as far as you feel comfortable too. So you should feel the stretch through the front of the legs, possibly in the knees. If it's too uncomfortable in the knees, come forwards or just drop the bottom. You might find that you're all the way on the floor if you're super flexible. Again, we'll take 1 more deep breath here. And then pushing ourselves forwards. Removing the block. We're going to stretch the bottoms of the feet in our kneeling position. So taking the knees slightly wider now, so they're hip width apart. And trying to get all of those toes tucked under. And then just sitting back onto the feet. You should feel a stretch all the way through the base of the foot. If you haven't quite got it in the right position, please feel free to readjust. I can feel that I've got more of a stretch in one foot than the other. There we are. Now, if you can't sit all the way back onto your feet, that's fine. Again, if you wanted to, you could bring a block in so it's a little bit less intense and you've got something to balance on. Again, that could be at any level. We'll take 1 more deep breath here. Just rock it forwards. Give your feet and ankles a bit of a roll round and a wriggle. Good. And then we'll come to a seated position. We're going to start by stretching the back of the legs now, as we stretch the front. So we're going to bring right foot into the side of the left inner thigh. Left foot goes out, leg goes out in front, flexing the foot. Big breath in, stretch tall, trying to keep the hips as straight forward as possible. As you breathe out, fold over that leg. If you can't get all the way to your foot, please feel free to wrap a towel or belt or something around the foot and just gently pull yourself towards that foot. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. If you can rest your head or chest on your left leg, just doing what is comfortable for you. Last deep breath. Good. On your next in breath, just gently walk yourself up. As you breathe out, swap legs. So this time we're bringing Left foot into right, inside of right thigh, right leg goes out, right foot is flexed. Breathe in, stretch tall, trying to keep those hips as straight forward as possible. As you breathe out, folding over that leg. Again, get that strap involved if you need it. If you can get hold of the foot, please do. If you can get all the way to that leg, have a rest. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. Good. Last breath. And then on your next inhale, you're just going to walk it up. As you exhale, you're going to come to a comfortable seated position. So we're going to finish today in a way that we often start. So if you need a block underneath the seat to lift the sitting bones and straighten the hips, get that now. You're going to come to a comfortable seated position, however that is for you. You're going to take a deep breath in, arms stretched tall. As you breathe out, right arm is going to come to the mat, left arm over the top for a stretch. Looking towards the ceiling. 2 deep breaths here. Next in breath, stretch it tall. As you breathe out, we'll go over to the left side. So left hand comes down to the mat, right arm over the top. 2 deep breaths, looking up towards the ceiling from under that arm. Next in breath, take it tall. As you breathe out, right hand comes behind you onto your fingertips, left hand on the right knee, and just twisting round to look over that right shoulder. Again, 2 deep breaths. Big breath in, stretch tall. As you breathe out, we'll go the other way. Left hand comes behind, right hand on left knee, twisting to look over that left shoulder. Good. Breathe in, reach tall. Breathe out, fold forwards. So allow the hands and arms to come and rest on the floor. 2 deep breaths. Releasing the head. Breathe in, bring yourself back up to your seated position. As you breathe out, bring the hands to prayer at heart center. We're going to take 5 deep grounding breaths. Just to finish off our practice, lock in our intentions. On your next out breath, let the hands drop into the lap, the chin drop to the chest. If you closed your eyes, you can open them now, and we're all done. Feel free to take a further Savasana if you would like to, or to stay in your seated meditation position for as long as you need to. I hope you enjoyed this class, and I hope to see you again next week. Don't forget, like, comment and subscribe for more, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.